teacher is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. You're constantly under pressure to make sure your students perform to the best of their abilities. But excelling in it, that's really rare. I'm here, Ms.Varsha Rodewal, my principal and a pioneer in education. She's revolutionizing the way we as children learn today. Ma'am, what made you choose teaching as a profession?
That's a very interesting question, Anand. Actually, I did not choose teaching. Teaching just happened to me. And this was to adults, but somehow the reward that you get, there is instant reaction to what you're contributing. For any other business, you have to wait for your profits to happen, right? You wait for the end of the quarter, you wait for the end of the financial year. But with teaching, when you see students reacting to what you have done in the classroom, that is so gratifying that once you get used to that, then you don't want anything else in life. And I think that's what attracted me to teaching, and also I have stayed in this profession just because of the reactions I get from students and the ability to make difference, a huge difference to their life.
Ma'am, why did you choose teaching in the IB, and IGCSE board in contrast to the national curriculum?
So actually, I am a product of a more traditional system, and I don't think that it was kind of not as good in any way, but the requirements of what the world needs in terms of the skill sets that you require to operate in the world today is something that the IB and IGCSE offer the student. So let me give you some examples. Like what we grew up with in school was all content related. We had to memorize, we had to reproduce, and this is not how you define learning. We were not encouraged to think, and this is one big difference between the more traditional curriculums versus the IB or the IGCSE, because the entire curriculum is designed in a way that students need to use the content and then apply it. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so we need those skills and attributes versus just the content, which is actually available at the click of a button.
What are the core principles that you as a person and educator have constantly abided by in your teaching career?
I think passion is very important, because if there is no passion, then there's nothing that drives you. Every day you need to wake up and come all charged, because that's the kind of role model you want to be for students. I think one thing that I've maintained is that I am a learner. I call myself a lifelong learner, and I believe in learning constantly. I'm learning from teachers, I'm learning from my leaders, I'm learning from students every single day. So I think it's this, need and this passion to learn all the time is what keeps me going.
If somebody is aspiring to become a teacher, what's something about this line of business that you as somebody who's been in it for a lot of time can tell?
I would say that schools need to create opportunities for students who are interested in teaching. For example, by providing internships so that they get to experience what this type of teaching is all about. Because it is a very, very challenging job. It requires you to multitask, it requires you to be a coach, to be a counselor. And you can't really understand this profession without being in it. So I think that's the kind of opportunities we need to create for students who are genuinely interested. And we need more teachers, right? So how are we going to get those teachers if we don't provide these opportunities to them?
So I saw that you've been in various different places. So which what place? Edinburgh, Mumbai, Kolkata, which one is your favorite?
Oh, that's very hard to say. I think I'm by heart I'm a Mumbai girl is what I say, but every place has its importance in your life. You become somehow at home in that particular place, and it's very hard to say which is my favorite. Of course, Bombay is my hometown; nothing can beat that. But I think where I studied in Edinburgh has got its own place, because I worked. I was in a class when I was doing my MBA with 79 nationalities. I was the youngest at that point in time. So I learned something completely different. I was in a different age bracket then, so it was a lot of absorbing. Then, of course, working in Bombay, I love the dynamism, the passion to excel. That people are very punctual, very to the point, and very direct, and I like that about Mumbai. And what I have loved about Calcutta is, of course, the warmth that adds to your learning, because most students I am working with have families that are sometimes even 25 people in one family, and I always admire how they learn to live with these multiple generations, because there's so much to learn. So I would say there's no favorite really. Of course, yes, I'm partial towards Mumbai, but otherwise every place is very, very important, and it has been very important in my journey.
Oh, I'll ask you some rapid fire
Oh
questions.
my god, okay, I'll try to answer.
So, so in RPG batch, would you like more IPDP or IGCSE?
Very hard to say. I think it's a great IGCSE is a great base for IBTP.
So, you like us more?
Very hard to say. I like all my students.
So, if you didn't become a teacher, what profession would you have become?
That's a very interesting one. I think I've said that before. I love cars. I think I would be one of those, on YouTube who's introducing all the new cars and trying them. That's what I'd love to do. It's my dream to drive a car on one of these Formula One rings. I would like to do that too someday.
So, in school, what was your favorite and least favorite subject?
Very interesting. I think my favorite subject used to be biology. I don't like that anymore, but you know why I liked it? Because I loved drawing. And I was always the person who was ready in the morning where all my friends could bring their journals and I'd do all the drawing for them. So I really loved art and that's why I used to love biology. Of course, I loved arts as well and languages.
So,
And what I disliked was mathematics. I think it's because I didn't have the right teacher.
so who was your inspiration growing up?
I think both my mom and my dad have been an inspiration in very different ways. My dad never had the education I had, and from a very young age, he moved from a very small town in UP to Mumbai and made his way up to being a very successful businessman. And how my mother has supported me through thick and thin to be where I am today, and also supporting me now and supporting my children and just how to manage family, work, relationships, and I'm very grateful to them for that. Secret talent that I have, I'm a good cook. I don't know if that's a secret, but I think I don't cook enough, but I'm a good cook.
And so finally, obviously everyone from the school or anyone else also who's watching, what's one message you would like to present?
I think the goal of schooling, amongst a lot of other things, is just to be happy. Learning and be happy with what you're learning because that's when you learn best.
Thank you so much,
You're
ma'am.
most welcome. Thank you. Thank you.